All right, today we have this bad boy right here. This is the Brightin Star 50mm F1.4 for the Sony APS-C E-mount. I've been using it for a few weeks now with the Sony a6700, and this is an awesome lens. Let's talk about it. Right off the bat, we have to give Brightin Star props for making such a great looking lens. It really does feel premium to hold in my hands. This is a solid chunk of glass for an APS-C lens. It's all black metal construction. It reminds me of my Fujifilm XF 56mm f1.2 in some ways, but it's a little bit smaller. The way it's designed, you think that this is an aperture ring on the lens, but it's not. It's just there for the aesthetics. This lens is coming in at a 58mm filter thread size. The manual ring has a nice resistance to it, and it does come with a lens hood and a generic looking lens cap to go with it. And like I said, it does have a premium feel to it, so overall there's not much to complain about. For a first autofocusing lens, I think Brightin Star did a good job on the build because I was expecting it to feel a bit more light and plasticky, like what I've seen from other Chinese brands entering the autofocusing lens market for the very first time. They just went in a different direction. So this deserves more attention. So props to Brightin Star for that. But let's move on to the image quality, which is the star of the show. I really like it. I really like the shots that I took with it. The images I got were incredibly sharp at f1.4, as you can see in some of these images. And you can see some of the fine details of the leaves here, which I'm very impressed by. I took it around town and took it on for a portrait session here, and man, the images that I got were just great. I can't believe the output of this lens. Its center sharpness is really great wide open, which is what I like because I like to shoot a lot of portraits. The bokeh has been great to look at as well. It's very playful in my opinion. Almost swirly like, which I like. Some of you guys may like that, but I like something with a little bit more character. And there are times that it also looks nice and smooth, and I tried looking for some chromatic aberrations on this lens and I couldn't find any. There is some vignetting at f1.4, so just be mindful of that, and you'll see the vignetting improved around f2.8. The minimum focusing distance is great. It's coming in at 50 centimeters, which is really good for something around this focal length. That means that you can get close to a subject, and then combined with the wide aperture at f1.4, you can totally blur out the background and get that sweet background blur, or that bokeh. Again, like I said, I tried finding chromatic aberrations and I couldn't find any in any scenarios that I shot in. So this is a very good sign that it is very well controlled. Not a bad performing lens for the price. Moving on to the autofocusing. So I was using this with the Sony a6700, and I thought the autofocusing, it was really good. It was quite snappy on the single point, and when I used it on the wide tracking and have the Sony a67 make the decision for me, I thought it did a great job at detecting what I wanted in focus. The eye tracking also works great with this lens as well. I'm able to get the iris sharp, and every time I shot portraits with it, I nailed the eyes in focus, and I couldn't be happier with the results. I had a model walk up and down and just spin around with the Sony a6700, and the lens tracked the subject, the model, very well, and it got most of the shots. So I'm very happy with the results. Now, the price of this lens is currently at $249 for the Sony E-mount only. But Brightin Star did tell me that a Fujifilm X mount version and the Nikon Z mount versions are coming. I think this lens has such a great value because it performs so well. Brightin Star has been killing it lately. I really like their 35mm f0.95 manual lens because of their premium build, and that translated well into their first autofocusing lens as well. I'm beginning to slowly see that these third-party lens manufacturers from China are slowly pivoting away from making the same stuff, adding their take on their lenses, which is really cool. And I think for Brightin Star, their advantage is their lenses are premium built. All the lenses that I've used so far from Brightin Star has been built very well, whereas the other companies tend to overlook this part and just go for like the cheap plasticky feel. And this lens is sharp wide open at f1.4. And if you're someone that is on a budget, I highly recommend you guys consider checking out the Brightin Star 50mm f1.4 autofocusing APS-C lens. I am loving the fact that these Chinese brands are offering great performing lenses at a much more budget-friendly price. Cameras are expensive to begin with, especially when you are starting out. A decently spec camera could cost you at least $1,000, and then you need to add lenses on top of that, add memory cards, backpack and all that stuff. So it just adds up. And I just gotta thank God for a company like Brightin Star, who's done a great job at their first autofocusing lens and kept it at a very affordable price. That is my thoughts on this lens. If you're interested or you want more information on the lens, I'll leave the links down below. And I just want to give a special thanks to Brightin Star for sending me a copy so I can make this review possible. But what do you guys think of these third-party lenses so far? Let me know down in the comments section below. Consider subscribing for more gear videos like this one. And thanks so much